It doesn't matter whether you own an Apple, Samsung, Xiaomi, Honor, OPPO device, or even a computer or a tablet. All of these devices can start to fail without any warning. Today, you're going to understand what is really happening inside and why a technician can use a device for more than a decade while you struggle to make it past 3 years. This video could save you hundreds or even thousands of euros in technology, because today you're going to understand something that almost nobody explains. What's really behind this entire industry? Every day we spend more money than ever on technology. Yet at the same time, millions of devices are failing earlier than ever before. Devices that cost over 1,000 euros, ending up in a drawer or directly in the trash. Today, you will clearly understand why devices fail and what is truly happening inside them. I'm going to show you part of the real repair process, so you never waste money again without knowing what's going on. Behind every repair, there's something that almost nobody sees. The tools that allow us to discover what is really happening inside a device. So, without wasting any more time, let's get to work. First, we start with an anti-static mat, then a proper work platform, and one of the most important tools in the lab, the hot air station. Here I'd like to make a quick reflection. These kinds of tools are not only used in small workshops like ours, they are also part of the daily routine in large production centers and technological laboratories at companies like Apple, through Foxconn, Samsung, Boeing, NASA, Ericsson, Nokia, Xiaomi, or Lenovo. Next, we use an extraction tool, which I'll explain in detail later, how it works and why it's so important in certain repair processes. We also use a high-quality flux, in this case from the brand ChipQuik. It improves heat transfer and makes it much easier to remove or solder components without damaging the motherboard. Although it may seem like a minor detail, choosing the right flux can make the difference between a clean repair or a much bigger problem. And of course, one of the most important tools in the lab, the microscope. For us, it is literally the heart of precision diagnostics. Working on motherboard repairs without a good microscope is like trying to perform surgery in the dark. A system like this AMscope microscope, combined with a camera such as the Optics Cam, allows us to magnify components from 45 up to 90 times, something essential when working with microscopic parts that are practically invisible to the naked eye. But magnification is not everything. Proper lighting is also crucial. That's why we use fiber optic lighting. The right light allows us to inspect solder joints, detect cracks, dirt or flux residue, and work with precision without making mistakes. At this level of repair, seeing clearly is not an advantage, it's a necessity. Thanks to the microscope, we can diagnose better, repair more safely, and drastically reduce the risk of damaging the board. Motherboard-level repair may seem complicated, but in many cases it is relatively simple if you truly understand what is happening. One of the most delicate failures in mobile devices usually occurs in integrated circuits. This is one of the most common causes after broken screens, degraded batteries, or charging port issues. To repair these devices, it is often necessary to remove the integrated circuit, rebuild the solder joints, and place it back correctly. I'll explain this very simply later when we lift a real chip. The system I'm going to show you today is a semi-automatic extraction process. This tripod has a suction system that lifts the chip at the exact moment when the solder becomes liquid due to the applied heat. In our workshop, we usually do this manually, mainly because we are faster, and because many chips have resin underneath them, which makes systems like this almost impossible to use. These tripods use a small suction tube connected to the hot air station, applying controlled heat until the chip can be safely removed without damaging the board. Now we're going to see it live. What's interesting about this system is that it significantly reduces the risk of damaging the motherboard. The tool lifts the chip at the optimal moment, preventing excessive heat exposure and avoiding nearby components from shifting or desoldering. Personally, I use this method especially on boards with larger integrated circuits, where thermal control and precision are even more critical. Now comes the key moment. We apply around 380 degrees with a precise airflow of about 30% until the chip is completely released. After that, we move to the microscope. Because when you see this magnified, you'll truly understand what is happening underneath the chip. Now, let's move on to something really interesting. Look at these 3 tiny solder balls. After many years working on motherboards, you develop something that cannot be learned from books, the technician's eye. Today, I use this semi-automatic system specifically to avoid influencing the process, so the result would be completely natural. Observe the position of these pads carefully. 1, 2, and 3. Now let's look at the chip. Does this layout look familiar to you? What happened here? Leave your thoughts in the comments if you have a different opinion. In this field, dialogue, sharing knowledge, and constant learning are essential. If you don't learn from mistakes, progress is impossible. And this doesn't only apply to repairs, it applies to any habit in life. As you can see, these 3 pads on the board are practically burned. That means this chip will no longer receive proper current in that area. Depending on the function of a specific integrated circuit, very different problems can appear. Overheating, charging failures, audio issues, Wi-Fi signal loss, or even more complex faults. Through points like these, information, data, and energy flow between the motherboard and the integrated circuits. If that connection is interrupted, the device begins to fail. And this is where the real repair challenge begins. And to finish, I want to share something personal with you. This is my real story. I'm not someone who changes devices every year. Normally, I use my devices for 4 or 5 years, and computers even for more than a decade without problems. In fact, after 3.5 years, I had to upgrade my last phone. Not because it was failing, simply because an app I needed for work stopped being compatible with my operating system. And at that point, I had no choice. Honestly, I could have kept using that device perfectly for at least 2 more years. But interestingly, after switching, I started noticing something many users also experience. The battery lasts less, and overall the phone feels slightly slower. I'm not going to point fingers at any specific brand. I believe this happens across many companies and is part of how technology evolves today. You need to understand something very important. An operating system is designed to work optimally with specific electronic components. The problem is that over time, updates demand more processes, more calculations, and more workload using exactly the same hardware. And that's where real wear begins. When you update a device, internal changes occur that most users cannot perceive at first glance, but an experienced technician can detect them. We see it in power consumption, temperature, system stability, even in subtle behaviors that only become visible under a microscope or after many hours of diagnostics. At first, the device may seem to gain some fluidity, But little by little, signs of wear begin to appear. And that's when you realize the device is starting to operate at its limits. And that's when the stories technicians know so well begin. Last night it was working perfectly. I left it on the bedside table, and today it's completely dead. The positive part is that modern devices often come with up to 3 years of warranty. If you take good care of your phone, it can stay with you for a very long time. Occasional cleaning, replacing thermal paste when necessary, and limiting unnecessary updates, and you can have devices that last for decades. So my advice is very simple. Get informed, listen to different opinions, and then draw your own conclusions. Don't become a fanatic of any brand. In technology, as in life, not everything is black or white. There are many shades of gray. If this content helped you understand how the technology you use every day really works, support the channel with a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and most importantly, share it so people close to you can open their eyes. Because from now on, important changes are coming, new challenges, and much deeper, higher quality content. I'm Leonardo. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.